I'm recording for my week 4 programming homework. Um, Try to keep this brief. 5 minutes goes fast. So question 1, I had to make an array. Did that, subtract some values out of the array. Did that, subtract the first value of first element from the last. And I had to make it so that no matter what size the array was, it would still work. So I did that. Then I tested it with another array that was a different size and it worked. Then I had to iterate through ages, calculate average age. So here I iterated through, put all the values into the sum variable and divided it by the length, kicked it out. Question 2, had to make an array with names and then loop through, calculating the average value of average numbers in an average number of letters in the name. Put all the lengths of the names in this variable, divided it by the number of names and got the average there. Here I had to concatenate with some spaces between the names, loop through it, did that. Answered 3 and 4 of how to get the last element and the first element in an array. Question 5, had to loop through names. So you can see I made this new array, looped through each index and put the value of the string length into the new array, and then kicked it out of the console and set each one kicking out individually. Question 6, add up all the values and name lengths and print to the console. So I added them all up, and then this just keeps adding the value into sum 6, and then I printed that value of sum 6. So from 7 through 13, I had to make methods. And so here, use a method to take a string, an int, and concatenate values and string as many times as the value of int. So did that, loop through it, and then so it'll kick out, if it's by or high 3, it'll do high, and it returns word 7, so I can go call in this up above and print it with a string and an int. 8, write a method that takes 2 strings and returns full name separated by a space. So pretty simple, return first name plus space plus last name, first name, last name. Then I can call this method up above, full name, and give it 2 strings, and it will return this, and I can print it out. 9, write a method that takes an array of int and returns true if the sum of all the ints in the array is greater than 100. So I had to check to see if it was more than 100. So I looped through it, put it all into sum 9, check to see if sum 9 was bigger than 100. If it was, then it would return that value, true or false. 10, write a method that takes an array of double and returns the average of all the elements in the array. So first you have to initialize the array of double. It takes some double values. It's putting all those values into 10. Then it's dividing that value by the length of the array to get the average. 11, write a method that takes 2 arrays of double and returns true. The average of the elements in the first array is greater than the average of the elements in the second array. So I had to compare 2 arrays and get the total average for the 2, which this is the first array, this is the second array to get and then I divide those summed values by the length of the arrays to get the averages. Then I compare the averages and return true or false. 12, write a method will buy a drink if it's hot outside and your money in pocket is a certain value. So it just returns yes or no right there, true or false. 13, write my own method. So I made a calculator to convert feet per second or miles per hour to feet per second. So given the feet per second, it will calculate, or given miles per hour, it will give you feet per second. So miles per hour here times by 5280 divided by 3600, it'll give you feet per second. And then I wanted this to print out. I didn't want to have to tell every time I call this convert MPH to FPS. I didn't want to have to do a sys out on it. So up here, where I did it, you just convert MPS or MPH to FPS. All you have to do is put the miles per hour, and it will sys out your feet per second, which you can see right here where I've tested it. It's just 117.333, and that is your feet per second.